Hello everyone, this is your host Kanchan Burman and welcome to The Quest. Today we will be covering the top 10 global stories making headlines around the world. Stay tuned to stay informed. Let's start with the international news. Zelensky ready to work under Trump's leadership. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said he is ready to work with Donald Trump. He emphasized that Ukraine will cooperate with any US leader elected by the people. Zelensky stressed the importance of strong allies. He said support from the US is crucial for Ukraine's defense and stability. Trump has repeatedly claimed he can end the war in Ukraine quickly. His potential return to power has sparked global discussions on US foreign policy. Zelensky avoided making political comments about Trump. He remained focused on Ukraine's security. He said his priority is protecting his country and its people. The relationship between Zelensky and Trump has been complex. Ukraine's future remains uncertain. The country continues to fight against Russian aggression. Zelensky said Ukraine needs strong partnerships to win the war. So now let's move on to next big international story. China sends strong message to Trump amid tariff tensions. Beijing has issued a firm response to Donald Trump's recent remarks on tariffs. This comes as a trade tension between the two economic giants resurfaced. US President hinted at reintroducing high tariffs on Chinese goods. He claimed such measures would protect American industries. In response, China's foreign ministry warned against unilateral actions that could harm global trade. They stressed the importance of dialogue and cooperation. Chinese officials reminded the US of the economic damage caused by the previous trade war. They emphasized that protectionism hurts both sides. Experts believe this exchange could reignite a trade battle. Stock markets reacted cautiously, reflecting investor concerns. The Biden administration has so far maintained many of Trump's tariffs, but has signaled a preference for diplomatic solutions. China urged the US to act responsibly and prioritize global economic stability. Now we will be transitioning to some top national stories of this week. Rajnath Singh stresses adaptive security measures for India. Rajnath Singh emphasized the need for India's security forces to stay adaptive to emerging threats. Speaking at a high-level security conference, he highlighted the evolving nature of global challenges, which includes cyber attacks, terrorism, and border tensions. Singh stated that traditional methods of defense are no longer enough. He urged security agencies to embrace new technologies and strengthen our intelligence networks. He stressed on the importance of collaboration between the armed forces, intelligence agencies, and government. He also called for boosting research in defensive technology and cybersecurity. India's defense strategy, he added, must not only be reactive but also proactive. He assured that all necessary steps are being taken to safeguard sovereignty. The conference concluded with a call to enhance training, technology, and coordination. Let's now see the next big news coming from our economic industry. Nirmala Sitharaman reaffirmed the government's commitment to ease regulatory burdens. She emphasized the importance of simplifying rules to boost businesses and economic growth. Sitharaman highlighted the unnecessary regulations often slow down progress and assured that the government is working consistently to remove such hurdles. The aim is to create a business-friendly environment and attract more investment. She also pointed out the steps taken so far. This includes scrapping outdated laws, streamlining approval processes, and promoting digital governance. Reducing red tape will empower small and medium enterprises. She further stated it will also encourage startups and foster innovation. The goal is to strengthen India's position as a global economic powerhouse. Finance Minister expressed confidence that both domestic and foreign investors will find India a more welcoming place. Then she concluded by saying that the reforms will continue for India's long-term development. So the next big story is coming from Jammu and Kashmir. On Monday, the budget session of the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly began. This region has been without an elected government since 2018, making this the first budget session in the past 7 years. The session was addressed by Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha. After the meeting, both the ruling and opposition parties engaged in significant discussions about the political landscape in the region. A heated debate is expected in this session, with important bills on topics such as Article 370, the alcohol ban and reservation inequality to be presented. The Lieutenant Governor mentioned that the economy of Jammu and Kashmir has grown. He expressed confidence that the government will work to strengthen the financial position of Jammu and Kashmir. During the speech, AIP MLA Sheikh Khurshid Ahmed protested against the deaths in Baramulla and Kathua districts. For the strategy of the assembly session, the National Conference Congress and BJP held a legislative party meeting. Let's now switch our focus to the next news. Maharashtra's Minister Dhananjay Munda resigns. He resigned after his close associate Sarpanch Santosh Deshmukh's murder case accused Valmik Karat came under scrutiny. Following this, the opposition demanded his resignation. Munda expressed his displeasure over the viral photos related to the murder and resigned from the cabinet on March 4, citing health and moral reasons. On the same day, protests against Karat took place across the state. Shiv Sena also protested by burning his effigy. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis told reporters he has resigned and I have sent it to the governor for further action. On the evening of March 4, Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan accepted the resignation. NCP President and Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar said Munde resigned on moral grounds. NCP State President Sunil Tatkare stated. However, as a responsible political leader, Munde has decided to resign on moral grounds. Munde tweeted that the reason for his resignation was based on moral grounds and his health. Turning now to something else making headline this week. Guwahati Police took significant action on February 10th by filing FIRs against several YouTubers and social media influencers, including Ashish Chanchalani, Jaspreet Singh, Apurva Makheja, Ranveer Allahabadia and Samir Raina. Cases were filed against Ashish Chanchalani in Assam and Maharashtra. He went to the Supreme Court to have these cases dismissed. A hearing for his petition will take place on Friday. On February 12, the Guwahati High Court granted him anticipatory bail and directed him to appear before the investigating authorities within 10 days. Now, regarding Ranveer Allahabadia, also known as Beer Biceps, he asked a controversial question to a contestant on India's Got Talent. This led to a significant opposition, including from fellow panel members, but the case was still filed. The controversy escalated to the point where the show was cancelled and all its episodes were suspended. Additionally, comedian Samir Raina's tour of India was also halted. As a result of this controversy, Ranveer Allahabadia saw a significant drop in his YouTube and Instagram followers. On February 12, Samir Raina removed all videos related to India's Got Talent from his YouTube channel, Samir Raina Official. Ranveer Allahabadia publicly apologized and Raina expressed his willingness to cooperate with the authorities. Now, there is one big news coming from Pakistan. Suicide attack in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. In Pakistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, a deadly suicide attack struck the Banno cantonment on Tuesday. Two explosive laden vehicles rammed into its boundary wall, killing 9 people and injuring 60. After the blast, at least 6 attackers tried to enter the cantonment but were neutralized. Security forces sealed major routes in response. The attack was claimed by Jaish-al-Fursan, a little-known group affiliated with Hafiz Gul Bahadur, which is a faction of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Rescue teams recovered 4 bodies, while 5 dead bodies were initially reported. The injured were rushed to the hospital. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Ali Amin Gandapur expressed sorrow over the loss of lives. He also extended condolences to the victims' families. Now we will be listening to top sports stories of this week. Praggnanandhaa draws against Arvind Chidambaram in intense chess battle. R. Praggnanandhaa faced a tough challenge from Arvind Chidambaram. However, it resulted in a hard-fought draw. The match kept fans on edge with its intense strategies. Both players showcased their skills and trading tactical blows. Praggnanandhaa, known for his bold gameplay, pushed for an advantage, but Arvind countered with solid defenses. The game ended in a draw after several hours of strategic play. Neither player found a decisive breakthrough, sealing the result with a balanced position. With this draw, Praggnanandhaa continues his steady run in the tournament, keeping his title hopes alive. Arvind too stays in the race with a strong performance. Chess enthusiasts now eagerly await their next move. Both grandmasters prepare for upcoming rounds. The battle for the top spot remains wide open. Now moving forward to the last big sports news of this week. India reaches the final of Champions Trophy. Hardik Pandya and KL Rahul performed well against Australia. After this thrilling match, India reached the final of the ICC Champions Trophy. Australia won the toss and chose to bat first. Both teams had played the 2023 men's cricket final before this match. India dismissed Australia for 264 runs and won by 4 wickets. Pandya and Rahul's partnership for the 6th wicket took the score to 225 for 5 wickets. To win, India needed 40 runs from 44 balls. Virat Kohli fell short by 16 runs from scoring his second century in the tournament. Kohli along with Rahul helped India cross the 200-run mark. India was set a target of less than 270 runs to make it to the Champions Trophy final. On Sunday, India will be facing New Zealand in the final. That concludes our news session for today. Thank you for joining us. For the latest updates and insightful content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel The Quest. Stay informed and stay tuned for more.